Hey guys, and welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Andre Siegers, and this time we're joined by Tom Arnold and Derek Bittner to discuss our playtime with Captain Toad Treasure Tracker at E3 2014. So let's get started. Alright guys, so Captain Toad is one of the surprise games Nintendo announced during their Direct. And this game is kind of interesting because we basically played it before in Super Mario 3D World. But now what they're doing is they're taking the Captain Toad levels from that game and expanding it. They're basing a whole game around it and adding some cool new gameplay mechanics to it as well. Including like one level where you ride a minecart and it was basically a first-person shooter at points. And then another that had a boss fight kind of. And they're doing some interesting things here. So let's go start with your guys' impressions. What did you think of it?
I loved the new variety in the game, and although I was right when I thought this is going to play exactly like from Super Mario 3D World, and it did. But the minecart level, for instance, where you hold the gamepad and you move it around to aim and sort of shoot, you had turnips to throw at different things. That was really fun. The boss level, it had that Nintendo Tokyo sort of style to their bosses, like really detailed, really animated. It looked really good, and it was basically just running up, I guess, like a lava corridor or like a lava tube.
Like it's not like a volcano or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and you had the lava kept rising. You had to hide behind objects as this dragon is shooting fire at you, and there's secrets to uncover too if you're good enough. So I really liked it. How about you, Derek?
Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to play Treasure Tracker. I really wanted to, but there's just so much there, and it wasn't able to make the time. But I will say that, you know, when I was playing 3D World, I was like, I could really see this as its own game, like as a downloadable title. And I saw on Miiverse, like I'd complete one of the levels, and I'd see Miiverse posts like, God, why isn't this? I wish this was a full game and whatnot. And it's nice to see that Nintendo sort of saw that and was like, okay, I think we can make this a full game. It looked interesting from what I saw on the show floor. Like, I saw bits and pieces, of course, all the video and whatnot. Haven't watched them fully because we're just so busy. It's cool that they're finally doing something with Toad himself. And Treasure Tracker seems to be a step in the right direction as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, the game, or those levels in Super Mario 3D World always stood out because they were a completely different style of gameplay from the rest of the game. So it makes complete sense for them to base this game around that. Yeah, so they had 4 levels in the demo, and we already talked about the turnip level, or the minecart level, and the boss level. But then they had 2 other ones. Like, if they were in Super Mario 3D World, they would fit right in with the rest. They were very much, you know, like, basically, you're playing on a cube, kind of. The small model that's a square, for lack of a better way of describing this. There's a video here, you can see what I'm talking about. And, you know, you can spin the camera 360 degrees all around the world, even up and down, too. And you're just trying to work your way through this environment. You know, changing things, like in the haunted house level, you can tap on the on these like cube sections to move doors around, and it's very puzzle based. It's like a puzzle platformer kind of.
And using the gamepad, who would have thought of that?
Right? It's surprisingly, yeah, they're actually making use of the gamepad. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. My concern, though, is I don't know if it's going to be able to hold my interest all the way through. Either that, or I'm going to have to pace myself really well with this game. Because although I liked the Toad levels in 3D World, that was because they broke up the gameplay. They only popped up once every couple worlds, and then you got to do something different, and then you moved on. Here, it's going to be, you know, one thing after another, and it does seem like they are mixing the gameplay at least somewhat between levels, assuming the minecart and the boss levels are any indication. Yeah. But I still just wonder whether it's going to be too much. You know what I mean?
I feel this is going to be like a snack game unless they really keep upping the variety. Just play a couple levels and play whatever other game you want and come back in chunks.
Like I said, I really wish I could have played it because it does sound interesting. And it does seem like it would be just better in smaller chunks, just from what you guys are saying. Question I have is the objective. I mean, is it like 3D World where you have to collect 5 stars throughout the level, or is it more of a point A to point B type thing?
So that's one of the things they changed. It's still point A to point B.
Yeah.
But you're collecting 3 things, I think it was, right? 3 jewels, was it?
It wasn't that many, so yeah, it could have been 3, but you didn't have to collect all of them in the minecart level. You could miss them.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, you didn't need to find them all. In fact, in the minecart level, I think you had no choice but to make it to the end.
Yeah.
Right? You could not make it to the end as far as I know. But you wanted to throw your turnips at the right places to reveal, I think, the 3 jewels you had to find. So they are changing it just slightly, but I think, yeah, 3D World had the 5 stars to find in each level. I'm pretty sure there's only 3 this time. So not a huge change. I probably think it's for the better. Probably because they can make... Like, with having fewer makes each one feel a little bit more special, whereas when you have 5, it's, I don't know, it feels a little bit more mechanical, almost, for like a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be a bit tedious to find 5
Right.
diamonds in every level.
I guess second question, and you might not have seen any indication of this whatsoever. In 3D World, Toad was able to get mushrooms in order to become big and be able to take a hit. I'm assuming that's still in here as well, but do you think he'll get any power-ups to further help him do puzzles?
That's a really good question.
He definitely started off big. I did get small a few times.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. I am almost confident, even though we saw no signs of it outside of that thing Tom just mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident we'll see like some kind of power-ups, some kind of thing that'll change how Toad handles. I feel like it's a safe bet.
It's funny him taking on this giant boss in his lava section when he was scared by Bowser's shadow at one point in 3D World. So I guess Captain Toad got a little braver in between games.
Well, truthfully, in that level, he's actually fleeing for his life. So he doesn't get burned alive by lava, and then at the end, just by chance, he climbs on a ledge, and the ledge sort of tilts down and hits the boss on the head and knocks him out.
So I guess that's another thing is does the game have a good sense of humor? I guess we saw a little bit of that with the boss, because you know Captain Toad is kind of cute, and seeing him
Yeah.
like pull up the little plants in order to get coins and whatnot. You think it has a good sense of humor to it?
The humor was definitely there in the boss level. I guess a little bit in the ghost level, but other than that, I guess it's going to depend on the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I would say just the presentation overall, like, was super polished. You know, as it kind of was in 3D World, too. I mean, EAD has produced some of the most polished games in recent memory. My next point is, I'm kind of, like, although I liked what I saw, and I'm sure I'll like the game, I also hope it's not taking away resources from the next Super Mario game, or whatever EAD wants to work on next. Because, like, while I like this game, I could also completely do without it, you know? So, I'm hoping it's not drawing too much resources away from what else EAD could do. But they produced two of my favorite games ever made, and yeah.
I'm pretty sure they could take the team who worked Captain Toad levels in 3D World and just make them their own thing. With put a director on and like make this game.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it'd be too difficult, and I like that. I really do like that they're expanding it and giving Captain Toad a bit more personality, because Toads are sort of ubiquitous, and it's kind of cool that they're finally getting their own game where they're not just a sidekick to Mario.
I'm sorry, did I say EAD? I meant Tokyo.
Tokyo.
Yeah,
Nintendo Tokyo.
That's right. Yeah, not EAD, but yeah, point still stands. even if it's just one guy, I would prefer him to be working on Mario Galaxy 3. But with that said, this game did seem cool, and I actually am really interested to see what other level designs, what other things they do to mix up the gameplay. If they can keep introducing the level variety we saw in just a demo, I think I'll be pretty happy with it. But
And we know they can do it based off of Super Mario 3D World. They can keep up that level of creativity.
like, what if they gave Captain Toad a cat suit? Like,
Well, that would ruin it though, because then he can just climb up walls.
Exactly.
well, they could add like a limit, right? Like maybe only climb up a certain height because of his backpack.
Well, you could have a level where instead of a cube, it's just a wall that you see, and he's climbing up, getting jewels, avoiding enemies. Like if you held an enemy down on the gamepad screen, they'd stop moving and sort of sweat a bit.
Right.
You could do things like that.
Well, that's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it seems they were adding even more. But I don't remember if you could do that in 3D World. If you could tap on an enemy.
I don't remember.
I don't remember ever trying it, so I couldn't tell you.
Well, at the least, they did have the first-person mechanic.
Yeah.
So it definitely is using the gamepad more so than the previous game, which was cool. I mean, I actually would say that minecart level was my favorite level in that demo.
Yeah.
I really liked it. I liked the Mario 2 throwback with the turnips. It was just a lot of fun, and it was nice to have that break from the pure puzzling elements of the game. Yeah, and just enjoying it.
Wouldn't it be something if this is the game Wart comes back in?
Ooh, that would be awesome, actually.
Captain Toad really isn't that brave. It's all because it's a dream that he actually succeeds in all this.
That would actually be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
No,
I don't either.
no, they hate Wart.
Yeah, Wart does not exist.
Yeah, so do you guys have any final thoughts or any final things you wanted to bring up that we haven't mentioned yet?
Even if it is more simplistic and yet they can't really keep the variety up, I think it's still good to have this type of game out there to you know, something for the fans of Captain Toad, because I did see a lot of those out there, and it's nice that they acknowledged that and made something for it, and I'm personally looking forward to trying it out.
I'd love it if they had something where you could fly around a spaceship, but
That'd be pretty cool. Maybe that'll be like the level select screen where you take a spaceship level to level.
yeah, I'd take that.
Oh, the Tonga's back.
And this game's coming out this year, so that's good news.
That's right, yeah. That's something to look forward to. It is I believe it's the only new game Nintendo announced that is coming out this year.
Yeah.
So that is pretty cool. And again, I am looking forward to it, but I still want Mario Galaxy 3 or whatever Tokyo is working on. So, alright guys, I think that wraps up our treasure tracker discussion. So thanks guys for watching. If you liked our discussion, make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain, which you can find links to in the description below. This is a great way to keep up to date on everything we post, including more E3 discussions and analysis videos, plus whatever else we end up posting. So yeah, thanks for watching, and keep an eye on GameXplain.com for more on this and other things gaming too. Alright, bye.